any condo can be purchased with a VA home loan. If you think I'm crazy, let me know, but I'm going to break it down on how it works. And the thing is a lot of veterans get steered away from using the VA home loan when buying a condo because of the stigma around the approval process. Now, you can buy a condo that's already denied by the VA. It's not approved and it's going to be denied. And even if it's approved, which actually is kind of even worse, the lender's not even looking at any of the documents, that responsibility falls on you to review it. And a lot of veterans just don't understand that. And they purchase properties, I think sometimes that are already VA approved just because, again, of that stigma around that. Every condo requires VA condo approval, and it's not like lenders can make that decision for the approval. It actually goes to the VA and they do it. Now, I'm going to drop a link in the description that's going to take you to the website for the VA. It's the only site you need to use because there's some copycat sites. They're not going to have the right information. And if you have questions about a condo in the system, you can actually reach out to the VA, talk with their construction and evaluation team, and they'll walk you through whatever you want to know about that condo. The reason why it's such a big downside, if the condo is already VA approved, is that the approvals never expire. So if it was done 20 years ago, it's still good to go today. And the lender does not check any of the documents, or does the VA. So it really falls on you to be able to do that. That's why, again, it's just like veterans are sometimes desperate to get a place, and then they just go for any building that's already approved, and then they don't understand the process. Realtor doesn't explain anything to them. They don't have an attorney that's looking out for their interest. We do, because we want you to know what that looks like, because you might love a condo, but we might look at the finances and be like, man, there's going to be some crazy special assessments coming up. There's issues with the building. People aren't paying their bills. Do you really want to live in this property? That's why it's also somewhat complicated with a condo, because there's two parts, right? You have to be qualified and eligible, and then the condo also has to meet that requirement. There's a lot of pieces that go behind that. And I'll tell you this, the VA condo approval process is actually, or denial process is very easy. And the thing is, I'm going to cover that in a little bit. I'm getting excited because I love this subject, because there's just so many veterans that call us. They're like, man, I watched the video. I heard you talking about this in a podcast. Can you help me? Because my lender is telling me they don't do it. And I'll share a quick story. A veteran reached out the other week. Their lender said that their condo is going to be denied. And I looked in the system, or was denied, and I look in the system, and I'm like, I don't even see the condo listed. And it was actually an internal condition from the lender denying it to even submit to the VA. And what they denied it for was something that the VA definitely allows them to do, which, again, the VA is extremely loose on their requirements. In fact, they only really have two requirements for VA condo approval. And that's if there's for denials, right? So there's a right of first refusal, and any leasing restrictions minus having a minimum of like a 6-month or 1-month lease, and no short-term rentals like Airbnb. A lot of condo associations updated that. So right of first refusal, that's basically when you list your property for sale and you have a tentative buyer, you have to give the condo association the right to be able to purchase that property first. Does that make, why do they have that? Well, back in the day, they used to have on-site engineers. And then the other reason why it can make sense is from a life estate. Like, let's say someone passes away, the kids come in, they want to sell the building, the condo, $100,000 under what the value of the property is. Association steps in, buys it, or the unit owners put money together and buy it and then resell it. It's important because condos, from a value standpoint, look at the internal building itself, and then they go external. So if you have a very low sell, it affects everybody. And that's like a whole separate video on just talking about that appraisal process around that. Now, the thing is that most lenders are not going to do that VA condo approval process for you, right? You might have to go external. It's like $1,500. By the way, we do them for free. So if you guys are interested, contact us. We'll do all of that for free. You're just responsible for getting the condo docs. The reason why is that Normally, a condo department has to be able to do them. That takes time and resources. And loan officers just don't have a clue on how to even request the documents. And I'll tell you this is that too many times I talk to fellow veterans that are going through that process, and it kills me because lenders don't do the waivers, right, for being able to purchase in a building that's going to be denied or denied, but they don't even tell the client, like, hey, there's a chance this can get denied and this is why, because they can't read. They can't read. Like, it's just it's that simple. They can't use Control F and search for a right of first refusal, which is also similar to a right of first option, which will deny it. And then look for any leasing restrictions. It is not rocket science, but they'll tell you, like, well, we're going to submit it to the VA and see what happens. That's not really how that works, because you can read and see, like, oh, hey, this is going to get denied. And you want to know this because you technically can't order an appraisal until until the approval comes back. This is why there's so many challenges for lenders to even be able to do it. Like what we do on our side is we read. We use these things here and we read. We tell you, hey, this is going to get denied because of this. And by the way, the VA is so loose on its requirements. These are the additional things you need to know, like how to read the financials of a condo building. Hey, we should be reading the meeting minutes to see if there's special assessments coming up. There's a significant amount of information that clients come in. You just don't realize that what goes into the condo buying process and what you need to know from a financial standpoint, right? I teach a basic condo course that's 3 hours long, which actually, if you guys are interested, drop a comment down below if you guys want me to do like a long format video, like an hour to 3 hours long. I'll do it because I do them all the time for the real estate community. I just don't do them for consumers because I don't know if people want to watch something that long. And so, and it's quick, like it's 30 days or less normally from contract to close, because we'll review the documents, let the client know, hey, this is what's going to get denied for. Hey, everything else looks good. They look at it, they're good to go. And then it's sent off to, then we take the package, submit it to the VA, and then we just order the appraisal because you've already acknowledged, like, hey, let's go ahead and order it. I want to order it because I reviewed it. And then if it's going to get denied, just be aware that you're going to have to put that waiver. You're going to sign that waiver. And you don't sign it until it comes back from the VA, because they're going to have specific language. You need to have the number associated with that property so you can get that waiver. Even if you own a property right now and you bought it with a conventional loan or an FHA loan because the lender told you it's just not possible to do a VA loan, guess what? You could just refinance into a VA loan, take advantage of not paying PMI, lower interest rates. Everyone's financial situation is a little bit different. Just note, when you do a refinance into a VA loan, it is considered a cash out refinance. So sometimes you need a little bit of equity in the property to do that. And, you know, especially if you had it for a while, I'm sure it's going to work out. But again, you guys can contact us. We can review all of that and let you know what you can do. Now, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than 30 days. It could take up to 45. And that can be very primarily because, depending on who we have to request the condo docs from, because if it's like, you know, some companies are really slow. They'd be like, oh, it's 15 days to get condo docs. Well, that's going to delay things. Now this, which sucks, but at the same time, we have to work with what we have. So sometimes you also have to pay rush fees, which costs you more money to get condo docs. I don't know why they do that when they already have the documents. Now let's talk about the waiver process. There's no real magic to this. Like, it's just, you sign the piece of paper with the acknowledging, like, I, David Piatek, acknowledge that this condo building, the Campton Inns VA ID number, has these restrictions that prevent the VA from, approving the condo. And then, then you basically attest to say, hey, I'm good to go with this. Submit it to the VA. Like a week later, it comes back, hey, you're good to go. with that. So it's not really hard, but you got to know what you're doing with that. And then the lender has to be able to accept that. There's plenty of lenders, even on like a wholesale side, that just won't touch it. They're like, absolutely not. We won't. We need the building VA approved. Even if you get a waiver, they won't accept it, which is crazy. But again, you have the other challenge. You can't order appraisal. Now you're talking about something that should take 30 days. It's going to take 60 to 90. And the kind of approval process takes about a week or so. Anyways, we've seen them super fast depending on where you're buying. Some areas maybe takes a little bit longer, but most of the areas that we work across the country doing these, it's pretty quick. So spend some time, research the condo. You guys have questions, hit me up. If you need a realtor that understands how these things work, guess what? We work with people that know exactly how to do this. So don't get steered away from using your benefits. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys soon.